Welcome to Melbourne, Australia. This beautiful city is situated on the southeastern tip of the continent of Australia and has approximately 5 million inhabitants. When you meet friends in Melbourne, generally they meet at Young and Jackson's Hotel to have a beer with Chloe. And who is Chloe, you might ask? Well, let's go and have a look. Let me introduce you to Chloe. She was a French model, a Parisian model in fact, and she was painted by Jules Lefebvre, famous French painter, in 1875. Created a bit of controversy, being nude, but nevertheless she came to Australia and was bought by the owners of this Young and Jackson's Hotel in 1909, and she's been here ever since. So in fact she's more Australian than she is French. Let's go and have a drink with her. Okay, we're having a beer with Chloe in one of the bars in Young and Jackson's. Not to be outdone by the Eiffel Tower in Paris, Melbourne has to have a miniature one, and that's above a fantastic art gallery museum. It's only a tiny one, but what the heck. Well, we're at the town hall, or should I call it Hotel de Ville, as they do in France. It was built in the British style of those days. Big, bulky building. Let's scan. We're looking down Swanston Street, which goes down the heart of Melbourne. We are now in Block Arcade, which was built in the style of La Belle Époque in Paris. This arcade has been maintained in its original style and well looked after, because it's probably the best arcade in all of Melbourne. Starts in Collins Street, does an L-turn and goes through to Swanston Street. Absolutely beautiful place. Let's have a look at some of the shops. Please go by. There are people all waiting to go past because I'm filming. That's fine. Very, very kind of them. The floor is mosaic, magnificent. We're not quite here at lunchtime yet. This will be packed in a half an hour's time. Beautifully maintained arcade. The Block Arcade on the corner of Collins Street and Swanson Street. Well, here I am in Melbourne, 16,500 kilometres away from Paris, and I can't get away from the French influence. I'm standing outside the Petit Chateau restaurant. It's more like a bistro, but we call them restaurants here. And there's a lovely laneway, which they've turned into an arcade. All food. Beautiful place. Another French connection I can't get away from. The trams. They were built, designed and shipped from France. I saw exactly the same thing in the outer suburbs of Paris. 333 Collins Street, Melbourne. One of the most beautifully renovated, restored buildings in the whole city of Melbourne. It's just gorgeous. Especially the foyer. The offices are just offices. The whole heart and soul of this building is in the entrance foyer. We'll go and have a look. Let's go inside. This is a gorgeous building. Tell me this isn't gorgeous. A lot of the old buildings in Melbourne were threatening to be pulled down. However, we had a very strong union in those days, Builders Union, who disallowed it. So, rather than keep bashing their heads against the wall, companies and councils decided to go along with it and restore these buildings, and this is one of the most beautiful in Melbourne. Swing around, see what's further down the hallway. It's a long corridor leading us to another street. But isn't that beautiful, the way it's been maintained and renovated? Gorgeous. This is what Melbourne is known for, maintaining some of its terrific buildings. This is the entrance to the famous ANZ Bank building. You'll want to know why it's famous. Well, we're going to go and have a look inside. We are now in the foyer of the famous ANZ Bank. The roof is so ornate, it's unbelievable, it's beautiful. Oh, the ceiling, I should say, not the roof. This is such a beautiful... This used to be the bank chambers in here, but it's only a reception area now. I was talking to the receptionist and told her I'm here from Paris, and she's just returned from Paris herself. And so we've had a good 5-minute chat. You would think we were in a church with those windows. This is another one of those magnificent buildings that have been renovated and restored, but this has been like this for quite a few years, but they keep maintaining it. Just beautiful. Just beautiful. And I think we'll go out. You might ask, why are there so many bank buildings in Melbourne? Well, in the gold rush days, which is going into the early 1800s, Melbourne was one of the richest cities in the world because of all the gold that was found in Bendigo and Ballarat, which are two cities which are approximately 100 to 150 kilometres out of Melbourne. So that's why they've got all these money storage, bank storage, gold storage buildings. Gorgeous. These buildings represent what the city of Melbourne looked like up until, let's say, the beginning of the 1950s. Gorgeous buildings. Okay, so they've been renovated inside, but thank heavens, as you've seen, foyers, etc. that I've shown you, they try to keep the original feel of the building. We're looking at that corner building there. It's called the Rialto. It now has one of the tallest buildings in Melbourne. And at the very top, there's a lookout. And you can actually walk out the glass floor, which I'm not going to do. Not that I suffer from vertigo, I just suffer from liking to be an older man. There you go. Melbourne looked like this for approximately 100, 150 years. We are now inside the building that used to be the headquarters in Australia of wool collecting, wool distribution throughout the world. The restaurant down below is the Intercontinental Hotel, or restaurant, excuse me. 5-star hotel. All these rooms that you see now are hotel rooms. We are talking 5-star. If I could afford to go up and rent one of these rooms, I'd show it to you, but I can't. Where the restaurant is now used to be the part of the warehouse, which goes under the landing where I'm standing, and there used to be a railway line that would bring the wool from the ships and from heavy trucking, etc., and bring them here, and it would be sorted. This is part of what they call the Rialto Towers. We are in Hosier Lane in Melbourne, where graffiti rules. All the walls in this tiny street are covered in graffiti or art, as you can see. And this has all been allowed by the Council of Melbourne. And this street has now become rather famous because of this graffiti. And it even goes up. How in heaven's name they got up there, I don't know. But there we go. Even the staircase way back there, completely covered. There are quite a few people here filming this in this street. It's quite amazing that the council actually encouraged it. There you go, Hosier Lane in the city of Melbourne. Well, my friends, thank you so much for following me halfway around the world, from Paris to Melbourne. I said I was going to film in Melbourne, well, here we are. I'm still suffering a little bit from jet lag, but oh well, it's the way it is. Please, if you enjoy my little videos, don't forget to give me a like. And if you haven't, please subscribe. Share these videos with your friends and leave a comment. And my last one was about my leaving France. If you had a special place in France that you've been to or you wanted to go to, put it in the comments. If you didn't give me a like, please watch it again and give me a like. It all helps with the algorithm. Thank you so much. Keep smiling, stay positive. Bye for now from Melbourne.